This is Protected Thoughts from the Intellectual Property Team at McBrayer. This is an overview of state or federal law and regulation and does not constitute legal advice. Services may be performed by others. For more information, visit mcbrayerfirm.com.
Welcome to Protective Thoughts. I am Mary Lise Paul, and I am here with Bruce Paul.
Good evening.
This is our Christmas episode, our after Christmas episode. How was Christmas, Bruce?
It's good. It feels like it was forever ago. I'm sitting here wearing my 97X Future of Rock and Roll vintage shirt that I received for Christmas, and have some new headphones on, feeling like we're living in the loot of Christmas.
We're in that weird phase in between Christmas and New Year's where we're not really sure what day it is, and I think it's been compounded by the fact that we've been working nonstop and eating the Christmas cookies. It's all running together at this point. The Christmas shopping rush. I can't remember where anything was ordered from or what movies we watched, although we did watch a bunch of Christmas movies starting back in October, really, because that's the appropriate time to start watching Christmas movies, right?
I guess. We're sort of outing ourselves as Christmas nerds by saying that, but
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So we're assuming, I guess, that everyone has seen It's a Wonderful Life, but it's based on, and I didn't know this, it's based on the short story The Greatest Gift. Did you know this?
Because we are IP lawyers, I did know this, but not before that.
Okay, so it's based on the short story The Greatest Gift, and it tells the story of a despondent man who contemplates suicide on Christmas Eve despite having a beautiful family and a wonderful life. His guardian angel grants him a chance to see what life for his family and friends would be like if he had actually never been born. And lo and behold, he decides that he in fact does have a wonderful life and his life is worth living. Did you know that when it came out, it was a box office flop before being a holiday favorite today?
I didn't.
Probably because it's so depressing.
I was going to say, maybe everyone had the same sentiment. You did.
Yeah, it's depressing. It apparently came to be a holiday classic because of a filing error with the Copyright Office. Back in the day, Republic Pictures, the copyright owner, missed the deadline to file the renewal application, which caused the film to lapse into the public domain. So when the film went into the public domain, TV networks that were looking for cheap or free Christmas content could then play the movie for free without having to pay royalties for the content. So it was on TV pretty regularly, making it a holiday classic.
They got it back, though, eventually, didn't they?
They did. In 1993, Republic Pictures claimed that they still retain the right to the original story, The Greatest Gift, and the screenplay for It's a Wonderful Life was actually a derivative work of The Greatest Gift, meaning that it was derived from the original story, The Greatest Gift. Republic Pictures had also purchased rights to the film's musical score, which had been separately copyrighted, and they relied on the Supreme Court case Stewart v. Abend, which held that only the copyright owner of a story has the right to exploit derivative work of films, which makes sense. We know the copyright owner has the right to exploit derivative works generally. So that's how Republic Pictures gained control of the movie. And then they told all the networks to stop playing the movie without payment of royalties and were able to enter into licensing arrangements with like NBC.
Interesting. I'm trying to see. So Republic Pictures is currently, I guess at least the label is owned by Paramount. Republic was known for specializing in westerns, cliffhanger serials, and B-films, emphasizing action and mystery. It's a
What's a
Wonderful
B-film?
Life
A B-rated film?
No, and not an A-lister. Lesser quality, I think, is what that's referencing. Interesting. I mean, I wouldn't say that It's a Wonderful Life is any of those things. It does say that, and it is here, Wikipedia, everyone's resource in 2024. It does say that it was successful or notable in developing the careers of Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, the singing cowboy, famous for his Christmas tunes, and John Wayne.
So another interesting fact about this movie is that it was governed by the Copyright Act of 1909 rather than the current Copyright Act, since it was created before 1964. So you had an initial 28-year term for the work, and then you had a 28-year renewal term, and the copyright owner had to file a renewal application with the Copyright Office in order to acquire that second term of protection. It wasn't automatic. So that's why the work entered the public domain, because the copyright owner didn't file that renewal application. And why, today we have life of the author plus 70 years. So that's why the renewal initial term was so short, and it would have entered the public domain.
So many laws that we work with, we just assume we know what the law is because the law is the law, and we all sort of have muscle memory when it comes to statutes and the elements of a claim and a trademark claim and a copyright claim. But the interesting about copyright law is you do have to always think about, okay, how old is this copyrighted work? When was it registered? Was it under the Copyright Act of 1909? Was it under the Copyright Act that what was the next one you said that ended in 2000 or in 1978? And then, so it's, you have these periods of time when different works were registered, and you've got to turn back the clock and figure out what the rules were then, because it doesn't just the current act doesn't just apply to everything the same. So it is kind of a mind bender when you get a matter in and you're trying to think about it. So yeah, the rules for It's a Wonderful Life are different than the rules for, I don't know, something made in, well, anything after 1978. And then if there was something made in a period in between those two, then there was probably a different rule then as well. So,
or something made in a foreign country, like Love Actually.
Yeah, good transition.
So Love Actually was created in the UK. It is protected by copyright in the UK as a dramatic work. Both the script and the film of Love Actually qualify for protection in the UK as dramatic works in the scope of Section 3.1 of the Copyright Designs and Patent Acts of 1988. And since the US is a party to the Berne Convention, and this means that the US law treats works by non-US authors as though they were registered in the US, the film would enjoy the same copyright protection in the US as it would in the UK without the need to register it via the US Copyright Office, but it could also register it in the US if it wants to. And I did a search of the US Copyright Office records to see if it was registered in the US, and I did find some advertising material was registered for copyright protection in the US, but there were a number of registrations with the title Love Actually for various.
Not surprising. Not surprising.
A little interesting tidbit about the Berne Convention.
What else? What else do we have on our holiday agenda here? You mentioned All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Well, that actually appears in Love Actually at the end. And, that is the subject of a copyright infringement lawsuit. Did you know this?
I didn't.
Mariah Carey, the Queen of Christmas. Can you remember a Christmas where Mariah Carey isn't singing All I Want for Christmas Is You? And this is a relevant question. Can you?
I don't know what you mean. Can I remember a Christmas that she's not singing it? Well,
or that she's not playing.
Recorded.
This is synonymous with Christmas, right? I mean, as far back as I can remember, I remember this song playing. Back to my childhood. What about you?
Yeah, I guess so. I would tell you that it was a 90s song, but I don't know. Do you know when it was? When it was recorded?
Well, it was recorded in 1994. It was released as the lead single from her album Merry Christmas on October 29th, 1994. And I loved Mariah Carey back then, and I still love her now, and I owned that. I think it was a tape back then. I owned that tape.
You were 9 years old. Come on.
It was for sure a tape then. In June of 2022, Annie Stone, aka Vince Vance, filed a copyright infringement action in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana against Mariah Carey, her producer, and Sony Music Entertainment, alleging that All I Want for Christmas Is You infringed his 1989 song, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I don't. Mm-mm.
I'm pretty sure it's the one that goes, and all I want for Christmas is you.
That's the same song that...
No, it's not. Hold on. That didn't do it justice.
Come on, sing some more.
Why am I the only one singing on this podcast?
I don't know, but...
Okay, hold on.
You
Take
talking
back
about
the holly.
this,
Take back the holly and the mistletoe. Silver bells on a string. If I wrote a letter to Santa Claus, I would ask for just one thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Which song I'm talking about?
Not even a little bit.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to look this up on your own because I will not be singing anymore.
So did he win or lose?
Neither. His complaint sought $20 million in damages. Timeline. His song came out in 1989. Her song came out in 1994. He filed his lawsuit in 2022.
Yeah.
And Mariah Carey has been the queen of Christmas since 1994. Are you having any flashbacks to our Warner Chapel discussion?
Indeed. Was Andy Stone, a.k.a. Vince Vance, in jail, just like the plaintiffs were in the Warner Chapel case?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. So you got a 3-year statute of limitations problem.
So he claimed he learned of her alleged infringement on an unspecified date via the internet and interstate commerce, which, I mean, unless you live under a rock, it's just everywhere. This song is everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's objectively everywhere. You cannot go into a store. I mean, I know that people don't turn on the radio anymore, so you basically pick your own music. And so if Mariah Carey is not your genre of music, or you don't listen to Christmas music, fine, I get it. But you go into a store, as you said, between Halloween and January 1, you're going to hear this. So it's absurd to think that he didn't hear it.
She also has been tapped to play, like, and don't quote me if this is wrong, as an example, the Rockefeller Center, the New Year's Eve, the things like that. She plays those big national televised events. Yeah. So anyway, obviously Discovery Rule was an issue, was going on at this time. Warner Chapel had not been decided, but in November of 2022, Vance filed a notice of dismissal.
So it's possible he got paid a little bit. Well, actually,
I doubt it.
It's unlikely. I mean, if they could have threatened Rule 11 sanctions, and then that could be his reason for dismissing without payment.
I mean, we can go on a whole tangent about things that are utterly frustrating about the copyright system, but the fact that he's claiming that he, or even, thought that he was not aware of this. What is the quote? Unspecified days. Wild. Yeah.
Moving on. Festivus. You want to talk about Festivus?
I do. Have you ever heard of Festivus?
I mean, it's a Seinfeld phenomenon. I'm aware of it.
Did you watch Seinfeld?
No, not really.
I love Seinfeld. I feel like I've seen every episode at least once, but this was before I knew you.
Yeah, well, Larry David lives on.
Yes.
Seinfeld lives on. So.
Okay. So I love the concept of Festivus, everything about it. December 23rd. Apparently, it was created as an alternative to Christmas by author Daniel O'Keefe back in the 1960s. But his son was a co-author for this episode in Seinfeld, The Strike, which made the Festivus holiday famous. I just thought it was created by Seinfeld. I didn't know that the dad of the co-author made it previously. So the Festivus holiday is supposed to be a non-secular holiday. It includes dinner. It has a Festivus pole instead of a tree that you can decorate. It includes feats of strength and my personal favorite, the airing of the grievances, which could become really awkward really fast. But Festivus lives on. There are trademark registrations that are owned by Warner Brothers. There's one in Class 16 for printed matter, so the specimen was like cards, and if you are a Seinfeld or Festivus lover, then you can still buy this card. And there's one in Class 28 for toys in the nature of games and playthings, and I searched to see if these games are still for sale, and was very happy to find out they still have a Festivus game, which would be pretty fun to play. It made me, I'd forgotten kind of about the Festivus holiday, and the episode December 23rd came and went. But it makes me want to watch the Festivus episode, introduce you to the whole thing.
Happy to. I know the concept, and I think it's funny and creative. I know that Seinfeld's a creative genius, and I think it's, airing of grievances, who wouldn't enjoy that? Do
you have grievances to air? I don't know what grievances you have to air.
Well, airing of grievances just sounds like our Thanksgiving table with our parents. December 23rd. I'll tell you what, December 23rd is Festivus Day officially. Is that right?
Every year.
So my airing of grievances on Festivus was receiving a response brief on December 23rd with a 7-day turnaround. So there's my airing of grievances on Festivus this year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all of it. You get to write a reply brief. Well, anything else on this pseudo holiday special? What are we doing next time? What are we talking about next time?
Public Domain Day. I'm so excited for it. We have so much good content to discuss. I did not realize what great things were entering in the public domain. And in addition to helping you with this reply brief, I now have to cram this book that I love that is entering in the public domain. We've got some movies to watch. I'm excited. It's going to be a really good episode.
Yeah, we've got The Sound of the Fury. We've got Farewell to Arms. We've got.
Oh, you're giving it all away.
Yeah, well, just a tease, So yeah.
Okay, that's the one. I love Farewell to Arms. I love Ernest Hemingway. You know I love Ernest Hemingway.
I don't know that, but.
What are you talking about? You do know this. We got married in Key West. We went to the Ernest Hemingway house. You know this.
I'm aware of where we went for our honey. I remember all the cats. That's what I remember about the house.
Oh yeah,
and the boxing ring. He had a boxing ring.
We are highly allergic to cats, so I suspect that probably took over. So yes.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's good. And I also wanted to talk about Nosferatu. No, is that how you say it? I don't even know if that's how you say it. So I screwed up the name, but there's a movie that came out Christmas. It's apparently scary. And it has a copyright aspect to it because it's based on Dracula, and it was previously canceled because of copyright laws. But we're going to hold off on talking about that because, again, we need Pete to drop some knowledge. Nosferatu, thank you.
Well, remember, we are lawyers, but we aren't your lawyers. We just love talking about the law. We hope you had very happy holidays, and we will see you in 2025, and we'll be talking about Public Domain Day. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Good night.
All content copyright 2024 McBrayer PLLC. All rights reserved.